Welcome back. I'm Mary Jo, also known as Sojo, and this is my channel where I talk about all my quilty stitchy things, and this is my weekly update, number 113, and it is July 6, 2025. So this is where I talk about everything I worked on throughout the week. So as you can see from the quilt behind me, I put a binding on. So this was from the Sherry and Chelsea Strawberry Lemonade collection. Now it started out as a Jolly Bar. Now a Jolly Bar is a 5 by 10 inch pre-cut that's exclusive to Fat Quarters Shop. And when you buy that Jolly Bar, you also get a free pattern. This was the free pattern that came in with it, but I didn't want to do this free pattern. So I did this pattern, which is Shoe Fly Pie quilt, and this is from the Jolly Bar book, volume 4. Now I've shown this before that I've completed the top. I quilted it. Like I said, I just got that binding on, so we'll go in and take a closer look at everything in just a second. But when I quilted it with the strawberry pantographs. I can see a strawberry sticking out right there. so it has strawberries all over it for the pantograph. Now the long arm I use is not a computerized long arm, it is all hand done with the pantograph. So we'll go in and take a look at everything. So we're starting at the top. Now this quilt is about 60.5 by 60.5. Going down a little bit, you can start to see all the strawberries that are coming out in there. And going down to the bottom, we go a little bit over to see the binding. There's the binding that I put on it. And the backing. Now the backing, I did use a cheater print. So this is the backing, is just the cheater hexagon print that went with the line. And I did get a label on it, let me show you that. And that's just my label that has my name on it. And there's an extra piece of thread up here I'll have to get off. So that's another quilt completely finished. So what else did I work on? Well, I worked on the block 3 of the flowering quilt along. Now this is from the Sew Sampler box, block of the month. So I worked on that. Now within there, theirs is red and they use Summertime by Camille Cross Kelly. I did not use that. I started with a fat quarter bundle and I did add a few other fat quarters and things in there to make it. Now I started out with the Kindred fat quarter line, which is from One Canoe 2 from Moda. So this is mine block, and this is called Stop and Smell the Roses block. So this is what mine looks like. Now it was folded up, so it's got some creases and stuff in it. But so mine's more of a corally, peachy color. So that was month 3, and I did do a video on that. And why not? We might as well look at month 2 and month 1. Month 2 is this will be a beautiful day block, and this was You Grow Girl block. So these were what mine looks like. This was month 1. And this was my month 2. Which I'd also did videos on both of those. So that's kind of what my color palette is looking like. So what else did I work on? Well, I worked on 2 other quilts. Let me get them. So I worked on this apple core quilt. Now this is from a Creative Notion subscription box from several years ago. So I've got all the center of those apple cores all sewn together, and then I trimmed the edges off from the apple core to make it straight. And now I'm starting to add this little piece right along here for a border. Now my border is not going to be this little white inner and then this big. It's just going to be one big white border at the end. So after I get all these little pieces around the edge for border, I'm just going to add one more large white border, and then I'll have a black binding. So this is my apple core quilt. And like I said, I'm just starting to add that border. Right there, it's pinned. It's not pieced yet, or not sewn, I should say. So that is what that's looking like. And I worked on one other Creative Notions quilt. And that is this chain link quilt. So the center of this was all done. It was set on point. Then I added a white inner border all the way around. And then I added this middle pieced square border. I got that all done. So now I'm just working on adding this last outer white border. So I have the white border pinned on the side, so I'll have to sew that, and then I can add the top and the bottom white border. So this one is almost done. The next time I pull it out, I'm going to finish it. So let's see where we are. I don't know if I should unfold it all because it is a large quilt. This quilt, let's see what the sizes are. This is 82 by 82, so it is a bigger quilt. Maybe if I just do like half. There we go. As you can see, there's that white border pinned to the side. Okay, so that is almost done. Now I have had several people ask me about this chain link quilt pattern. Now this was exclusive to a Creative Notions subscription box several years ago. And it was through Creative Notions. So if you're interested in this pattern, I would suggest contacting Creative Notions. They do have a website. Maybe contact them through the info or help, send them an email and ask them if you could purchase this pattern. I don't know if you can or can't, but that would be my only suggestion because I do know I've had several people ask me about this. Trying to think. And I think it's just like creativenotions.com or something like that. There you go. That's the pattern. That's my quilt. So that is everything that I have worked on as far as sewing and quilting this week. Let me move on to cross stitch. So I did find this as I was starting to put things back, and it is, the website is www.creativenotionsquiltshop.com. And the email is info@creativenotionsquiltshop.com. There you go. So there's that. Then as far as cross stitch goes, I'm still working on this hands-on design Rose Cottage. So I finished all the white and now I'm starting to add the lighter pink because there's two different pinks in here. And actually I added all the lighter pink and now I'm working on adding the green. So this is where the summer is. This is what my summer's looking like. Now this is done on 14 count Aida chalkboard black. That's my summer. And like I said, I just started adding the green, and here you can start to see the green with the flowers on the house over here on this side. So that's where we are on that. Or that's where I am on that. All right. Now for crochet. I did finish 2 more of these Woobles amigurumis. Now this book for every occasion. I am on the baby shower. I showed the bee last week, and this week I finished the stork and the astronaut. Now these 4 up here, they have like in a mobile. I'm not going to do that. I'm just making the little creatures there, critters. And this frog thing right here, I'm not going to do. But I think there's only 2 things in this entire book that I'm not going to make. So let me show you, because I finished the stork. Let me show you a picture of the stork up close. Just let me get it. There we go. Now this is Urkel Philibert the stork. So this is a picture of the stork, and this is my stork. And I do like his little tail on the back. So there's my stork. And I finished Stella the astronaut. This is Stella the astronaut. And there's my astronaut. That's what that's looking like. All right, and the last thing I worked on this week is my diamond painting. I'm still not done. There is 35 total symbols or collars in this, and I'm on 30 because I do one collar at a time when they're small. When they're a bigger one, I work at one section at a time. So there's a little picture of what it's supposed to look like. And this is what it's looking like so far. This is where I am. Alright, so that's everything I've worked on and completed this week. Now this coming week, I plan on working on What Will I Make series, and this time I'm using a layer cake. So you'll have to see what I make from the layer cake, because that's just where I use some sort of pre-cut and find a free video or tutorial, which I think they've all been from Missouri Star, and then make something with it. So you'll have to watch those videos this week and see what I make with the layer cake. Till next time.